Athletic Complex in Worcester, Massachusetts. Tonight, the Holy Cross Crusaders play host to the Lafayette Leopards in Patriot League play. John Avino and Brendan Glasheen, thanks for joining us on your Tuesday night. Happy New Year to you all. Well, the Leopards are coming off a loss to Lehigh. The Holy Cross Crusaders, meanwhile, picked up a win over Colgate on the road. It's still very early, of course, in conference play. Good for the Crusaders to start with the home team getting the victory.
Yeah, they're going to come back here at home and try to beat a team that beat them twice on their home floor last season. Lafayette didn't have many wins last year, but a couple of them were right here inside this building. I know Holy Cross wants to get back at them for that.
This was the 7-10 matchup in the Patriot League tournament, and Holy Cross was upset by Lafayette. We look at the matchup side by side. Lafayette averaging just under 53 points a game. That's worst in the conference. And meanwhile, Holy Cross, one of the better scoring teams in the league.
Yeah, and they've obviously played a lot of non-conference games so far, and we're just getting into conference play. But Lafayette's going to have to get their points per game up a little bit if they want to compete with teams like Holy Cross that right now have been scoring at ease at times from a lot of different ways on the floor.
The Leopards have leaned on Natalie Kucowski inside. She's only one of two players in the Patriot League averaging a double-double.
And you see that fifth career double-double was against Lehigh the other day in the last game. 11.8 points per game, 12.3 rebounds. You mentioned she's only one of two players with a double-double. She's a two-time Patriot League Rookie of the Week. Holy Cross does get out rebounds, so she's going to look to exploit that tonight.
Crusaders head coach Bill Gibbons told us that Lauren Mann is scoring in single digits is a rarity. We'll take it. We'll find a way to win the ball game. Just the second time this year she scores under 10, and she looks to bounce back tonight.
And I'll tell you what, Holy Cross might be without a couple of key players tonight. We'll see at game time if they end up coming out to play or not, but if not, Manis could be leaned on for a huge role tonight in the scoring department.
The reigning Patriot League Rookie of the Year and the Crusaders in action for the first time at home in Patriot League play. Lafayette at Holy Cross. We have the starting lineups and tip-off coming up next from the Hart Center. Back at the Hart Center in Worcester, there is Kia Damon in her first season as the head coach of Lafayette. We roll out her starting five. The same as the opener against Lehigh a couple of days ago. Ellen Graham in the middle with Natalie Kucowski, who we previewed before the game, Anna Tazinski, Drew Freeland, and Sammy Stipa. The Holy Cross Crusaders under Bill Gibbons in his 33rd year as the head coach, his 37th here at Holy Cross in athletics. He rolls out a different-looking starting unit. Lauren Manis in the middle with Captain Katie Doherty, Madeline Smith, a sophomore Megan Swords, and freshman Janae Faulkner. John, tonight, no Trisha Byrne, no Infinity Thomas Wahid not playing tonight for the Crusaders.
Yeah, they both dressed and they both warmed up before the game. They are sitting near the coaching staff on the bench, but we'll see if they're officially out tonight, as it looked like some of the team is battling illness this week.
Yeah, I should correct myself. We don't know if they are not playing, but they are certainly not starting. Man is trying to flip it up and under. Shot clock does not reset. It's at 3 in the corner. Doherty for 3, too strong. And Megan Swords coming down with the miss. She missed all of last season with an ACL injury, making just her second start of the season for the Crusaders.
It's not a bad idea to get her in the starting lineup either, with Ellen Graham opposite for Lafayette. Match up with a center inside, another tall body for Holy Cross to help on the rebounding battle.
Fresh shot clock after the foul against the Leopards. Turnover, Holy Cross. Crusaders average just over 16 of those per game. Strong take inside by Kucowski. She gets denied. Kucowski from Philadelphia, averaging a double-double like we told you in the open. She's only one of two players in the conference who's got that going for her. Nicole Morris spins out of trouble, 10 to shoot for Holy Cross. Morris to the corner, Manis from distance, yes. Stretching the floor.
Lauren Manis can do that. She's not going to take a ton of threes, but she can definitely hit them when she gets the space. She's the second leading scorer in the conference to her teammate, Infinity Thomas Wahid, but she does it in a variety of ways. Right there showing off the range early. Just her 6th three-point made of the year.
Holy Cross scores first. Here at the Hart Center in Worcester, the Crusaders picked up a win at Colgate a couple of nights ago. And Lafayette is still searching for its first conference win, coming off a loss to Lehigh. Tough take, Manis. There's a lot of pressure on her tonight to score in case we don't see Thomas Wahid or Trisha Byrne tapped out of bounds, staying with the Leopards.
Yeah, we previewed Manis on the open there, and we talked about how she could need to play a big role in the scoring tonight. She always plays a big role for the Crusaders, but they're going to look to get her even more involved should those two players be out or be limited at all by the fact that they are sick. Obviously not starting yet, and there's the fantastic freshman inside.
Natalie Kucowski, freshman forward, puts it in to make it a one-point game early. Well, John had mentioned it in the opening minutes. These two teams have some history as Holy Cross turns it over.
Historically, Holy Cross has been much better than Lafayette, but last season was a different story, especially on this floor. Lafayette only had 3 total conference wins, including the tournament. Mid-range goes long there, but 2 of those wins were on this court against this Holy Cross team that obviously wants to rebound this season and stick up for themselves. A lot of the same players are on this Holy Cross team, so that's still a sour taste in their mouth.
And all time, Lafayette's only won in the Hart Center 4 times, 2 of the wins coming in one season last year. Manis is fouled by Ellen Graham, senior center from Frankfort, Illinois, and the sophomore from Franklin, Massachusetts, not far down the road here in Worcester. Manis to the free throw line.
That's just a good move right there to draw the contact. Couldn't get the finish, but Manis will gladly go to the line here early on. Shoots a touch below 80%, which is actually the lead in the Patriot League right now. Naturally, she misses 1 of 2.
Pull-up jumper on the way, good. Sammy Stipa from Royersford, Pennsylvania. She's played the most career games of anyone in this Lafayette squad. 98th career game tonight.
And she's taking a little back seat in the scoring department this season compared to previous years, but still a good shot right there with a closing defender.
Holy Cross continues to swing. 8 to shoot as Morris tried to slither through the defense. Manis picked it up and then turned it over, called for 3 seconds.
Manis unable to find anywhere to go. I thought after she originally grabbed that rebound on the floor that she might try to go up with it with the couple of defenders in front of her, in between her and her closest teammate, but she got the ball away. It was stolen anyway.
Freeland, 4-3.
It's a shot Drew Freeland will look for. Reigning Patriot League Rookie of the Week. Has really been overshadowed by her rookie teammate, Natalie Kucowski, but Drew Freeland's had a pretty good start to her career here for the Leopards as well.
The guard hails from Roanoke, Virginia. 4 minutes in, first quarter. 7-4 Lafayette. The equalizer is just off the mark from Doherty. Manis almost lost her footing. Crusaders keep the basketball. And in for Lafayette, Alexis Santorelli.
Look who's coming in for Holy Cross. They bring in both Trisha Byrne and Infinity Thomas Wahid, so
spoiler alert.
Any questions we had about them playing tonight have quickly been answered. The team has been battling a bit of a stomach bug, we were told, and those two were questionable up until tip-off pretty much. And even after they had warmed up with the team, we still weren't sure if they'd play, but both in here.
Lauren Manis gets a rest for the Crusaders. Thomas Wahid on that far wing is the leading scorer in the conference. Great find, Faulkner to Swords. She can't put it home. Here's Lafayette in transition. Big on big feed. Santorelli deposits off the window.
It's a nice move there from Santorelli inside. Move around and get free from the defender, the up and under. Lafayette opening up an early 5-point advantage.
And a 7-0 run for the Leopards. Trisha Byrne in and out from distance. And out of bounds off Holy Cross. A trio of substitutions for Lafayette. Sarah Agnello checks in. Number 13 in maroon, and also in there Olivia Martino. Another freshman that's checking in for Lafayette.
A quick breather for Lauren Manis as well. She comes right back into the game. Holy Cross also runs out Amy Hasenauer, who does not play a ton, but she'll get in there right now and get mixed up on a quick one, drawing an offensive foul.
Hasenauer missed the bulk of the non-conference. And just her 4th game appeared this season, making an impact. As Coach Bill Gibbons went to that miniature full-court press, putting Trisha Byrne in the backcourt defensively. Lafayette still riding that 7-0 run. Hasenauer off the up fake, nearly drew the double. Thomas Wahid, leading scorer in the league. Turned over. Holy Cross not taking care of the ball as Morris gives it away. That's the 5th Crusaders turnover of this first quarter. And with 4.5 minutes to play, timeout on the floor. Lafayette on a 7-0 run, leading Holy Cross on the road in both of these teams' second Patriot League game, 9-4. Patriot League women's basketball is underway with the new year upon us. Lafayette leading Holy Cross early first quarter, 9-4. John Avino and Brendan Glasheen with you. Holy Cross currently standing in number 5. Of course, everyone's played one game, so 5 teams are 1-0, 5 teams are 0-1. It's early. Lafayette knows as long as you get into the dance, all these teams do, to spoil the fun. But, of course, you want to get these games early. That way you build some sort of a lead and not have to worry about seeding as we head into February.
Yeah, you mentioned Lafayette knows they went 4-28 last season and still won a conference tournament game. So anything's possible, obviously, and they do want to end up a little bit better seeded usually, but can obviously win some games from anywhere in this conference. Holy
Cross has not scored in a handful of minutes now. They've come out with an experienced group. 2 seniors on the floor, and Thomas Wahid, who has the ball now, to her senior teammate, Trisha Byrne. Manis off the catch, isolates, and a whistle against the Leopards. Against Alexis Santarelli. That is the 4th team foul on the Lafayette Leopards.
If you look at that replay, it kind of looks like a bailout call too. Holy Cross might have got a little bit lucky there. They get a fresh shot clock.
Thomas Wahid, Euro step and banks it in.
You better believe that she's going to find a way to get to the rack and get shots up. It doesn't matter how much she plays tonight. Infinity Thomas Wahid's going to make sure she has an impact on the scoring.
Alan Graham turned it over, 3-on-2, Holy Cross. Here's Nicole Morris. Skips to Byrne, the extra pass. Thomas Wahid, too strong from 3. Right idea by the Crusaders in transition. 9-6 Lafayette, 3.5 to go in the first. Baby jumper good, Santarelli, right after picking up the foul.
That's a good move inside again by Santarelli. She averages about 5 points per game. Doesn't shoot a very high field goal percentage, so good to see her making those shots early if you're on her side.
She's a sophomore from Philadelphia. A football and basketball family. Trisha Byrne for 3, too strong. Manis has got it. Doubled. Thomas Wahid, yes. That head fake opened that up.
Yeah, she got a step there, and you said it was all the head fake right there, and she can hit those shots even with defenders closing in from all around her. So it makes her so versatile, so good, and there's Byrne with another steal.
3-on-2. Morris connects from 3.
That makes Holy Cross a little bit different than Lafayette in that respect, as they shoot just a little bit better from three-point range. They shoot a lot more three-pointers per game. Helps with the scoring discrepancy a little bit. Obviously, we highlighted that in the pregame. Holy Cross averages about 16.5 points more per game than this Leopards team. So we know they're going to get some shots up from deep. It's just a matter of how many they're going to be able to make.
And the Crusaders are 2 for 6 from behind the arc. Lafayette 1 for 1, just one take from 3. 11 all, coming up on 2 minutes left in the first. 6 to shoot for Lafayette. Stippa got tied up in the painted area, and 2 free throws on the way. First Holy Cross foul committed by Janae Faulkner. That means free throws. This is Sammy Stippa, senior guard.
I was going to say, not a terrible person to send to the line either. Not a ton of free throw attempts this year. That's just her 13th, only 5 makes.
Now Lafayette not one of the better free throw shooting teams in the league. Offensive rebound, back up strong. Santarelli has been a spark plug off the bench for the Leopards.
Well, that'll combat the missing both free throws right there. You get an offensive rebound on a ball that kind of trickles through Swords' hands, and you put it right back up. You get fouled as well. Nice play by Santarelli. Misses the free throw, but still 6 early points here.
Faulkner with the nice dribble, crossing over. Could not put it home. Numbers for Lafayette. Stippa with a nice use of a head fake. Kicks out. That 3 rattles in. Martino putting it in. Olivia Martino of Lanham, Maryland.
Another freshman contributor for this Leopards team. Another reason why they've already matched their win total from last year. The class they brought in this season was just a little bit better than what they've had the product here the last couple of years, and another contributor right there.
Here's Nicole Morris driving hard, deflected by Ellen Graham, the 6'2 center, disrupting that look inside.
Yeah, this is a tough take for Morris, especially with much larger Ellen Graham lurking in the paint. Graham becoming a factor for this Leopards team this season inside.
And no doubt, she only played in 7 games last year. She's now a senior with a more elevated role. 5 on the clock, Katie. Doherty responds and buries a 3. Second 3 for Doherty in this one, and Holy Cross cuts it to 2. And nicely done defensively by Morris, just in front of us, deflecting the pass towards Tazinski.
Well, Nicole Morris trying to jump the route there. You take a look at the made basket from Doherty up top. A couple early 3s for her. Holy Cross has this thing to a 2-point game as we close in on the final moments of this first period.
Tough drive in the corner by Martino. They send it inside. Santarelli keep feeding the hot hand. 8 points in the first quarter off the bench.
Santarelli really getting her way inside. Mentioned just 5 points per game for her. She's killing Holy Cross here in this first quarter.
Manis. Offensive board. Swords back up, no good. Ball is on the floor. And a jump ball. That means Lafayette possession. The Leopards have 8 seconds to hold for the final shot of the quarter, if they please.
I know Megan Swords was trying to go right back up with this thing and finish off a quick basket inside, but I almost would have liked, after she got the offensive rebound, if she could have looked and tried to kick that out and kind of reset it for Holy Cross there with 14 seconds or so, but instead it was another loose ball. It ends up with a jump ball. Lafayette's going to get a last look here, though.
Stippa hustling hard up the floor. Swing to an open shooter. Tazinski at the buzzer. She got them all, and Lafayette has a 7-point lead at the end of the first 10 minutes. That was something.
That was a way to close out the quarter right there. I don't know how you give up that good of a look at the very end of the quarter, but Tazinski did a great job to get free and a great job to find her in rhythm as the buzzer sounds.
That's a great heads up by Stippa, too. You can tell she was pointing towards Santarelli. Kick it over. Lafayette with great execution. All right, first quarter is in the books. Lafayette leading Holy Cross on the road 21-14. You're watching the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Alexis Santorelli with a huge first quarter for the Leopards. She averages just over 18 minutes a game, 5 points a contest, and she came out and took advantage of the playing time early in that first quarter, John.
8 points, 4 rebounds, too. She did it on the offensive glass even, getting everything done in N1. She was unable to convert the point on, but still making her presence known early on against this Holy Cross team that has to try and figure out a way to combat the inside game of Lafayette.
Leopards have matched their largest lead. Doherty, I think she banked that one in.
I'm pretty sure she did some late night Tuesday banking there, as that one somehow found the angle she needed.
That is her third. Check that second three. Her other one was a long two. Katie Doherty has 5 points. Make it 6 after the made three. So 21-17 Lafayette. Stippa running the show at the point.
Leopards shot a really high percentage in that first quarter. There's another very high percentage shot right there. They continue finding the open looks, and they keep putting them down. It's going to be a long night defensively for Holy Cross.
That was Anna Tazinski who laid it in, second on the team in scoring per game at just over 8 per. And a Lafayette foul. Santorelli second. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and for somebody who doesn't play a ton, who's been that hot this early, and they're going to keep her out on the floor right now, she's going to be super careful not to pick up a third.
Ellen Graham heads to the scorer's table. We'll see if that is for Santorelli. Thomas Waheed cuts, leaves an opening, they swing, Doherty, another three. She is feeling the stroke in Worcester tonight.
You got to give it to her in a good position, and Holy Cross doing a good job of finding the extra passing right now.
Doherty has 9. Manis picks up the loose ball. Madeline Smith goes right back to her. Off the catch and contact. She is fouled and will get 2 at the free throw line.
So that foul wasn't Santorelli, which is good obviously for her and for Lafayette, but it's still on Kucowski, who you don't want her getting into foul trouble either.
Tell you what makes Manis special is her ability to put the ball on the floor. You see it in both men's and women's college basketball. You even see it in the pros. The ability to put the basketball on the floor and truly be a stretch, a versatile big.
It just elevates her game so much. And you mentioned it's becoming more and more common. We see it travel here on Lafayette in the pros. You know, 10 years ago in the NBA, you didn't have guys like Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, who are on the same team now, who can both run the floor, put the ball down on the floor. Karl Anthony Towns comes to mind too. And now it's something that both on the men and women's side at the college level, they're teaching more and more. And you just have to know and be versed in it as a big coming out of high school now, is to kind of have that in your arsenal, especially if you want to be an impact player at the college level and play and make a team, an impact on a team.
Lafayette the lead by 2. 2.5 minutes in, second quarter. Katie Doherty's been on fire in the quarter. She loses it. Here comes Kucowski all the way to the hole. Sprinkles it in for 2.
And you know what? It's right on cue, too. We were just talking about bigs running the floor and putting it on. She had a couple plays in the first where I saw her running the floor. Very impressive. She averages a double-double, we mentioned, with the high rebounding numbers. But it's impressive to see her just grab that board and put it on the floor, not even need the outlet pass.
Doherty got the last hurrah, got tipped out of bounds, though, by Lafayette. On the third effort there, Swords was in on it next. Here's another look, John.
I mean, she's all the way down the floor. You see the ball up and over. That's a guard move right there from a big. And you can take that every time. You have the ability to run down the floor. She's going to be a special player if she keeps up the paces that she's had here in her rookie season.
Manis off the jump stop. A little bit too much mustard on that jump shot. Here is Stipa. Coast to coast. Kucowski. No whistle.
That's a good job going straight up by Swords there, avoiding the whistle.
Swords, why not? Way too strong. She sort of knew it as they get back on D. Catherine Peedy has checked in, the walk-on from Chicago. And it was tipped out of bounds by Peedy. Hasenauer checks in for Swords on the Holy Cross side. Also in for Lafayette for the first time, Tasha Vipond from Ankeny, Iowa. It's 34 in red. Hasenauer just checking in is called for a foul off this inbounds play.
And we see Kucowski at the line, that's been one of the struggles of her game here early in her career. Around 55% coming in from the free throw line. But you expect, obviously, as her career goes on, for her to get better at that. She's got 5 games this year where she's grabbed at least 14 rebounds. 5 double-doubles as well.
She's leading the Patriot League in rebounding. Lauren Manis of Holy Cross, who has it now on the block, is 4th in the conference, and she turns the ball over. Talked about Manis not being at her best, and the Holy Cross 7-point win over Colgate to open up Patriot League play. And that will be a rarity this year. If she does not play well, it will hurt the Crusaders. Same could be said for Kucowski, for Lafayette. If they're going to pick up some wins this year in conference play, they'll need their freshmen to be great.
Yeah, these two teams are very similar in the sense that they're going to need to have a lot of things go right for them to pick up conference wins this season. Lafayette obviously is making strides from where they were last year. They want to see an improvement in their overall conference play this year, but again, you take the positive out. They won a conference game in the tournament last season. Holy Cross obviously looking to improve on their 6-12 Patriot League record from last year.
Manis with the hard take, opting to her left. Here's a fun matchup as they go head-to-head. Kucowski and Manis. Instead, it's dumped underneath, and Freeland couldn't finish.
And again, I know they didn't finish that one, but still, Kucowski running the floor there and able to come down, stop with a head fake, finds a pass.
What a pass by Manis. And there's the other big on the Holy Cross side displaying the distribution ability.
Got a couple of talented bigs here for these two teams, and it's getting put on display early. They both have a lot in their repertoire.
Madeline Smith and Infinity Thomas Wahid check in. Here's Trisha Byrne, 2-time captain for Holy Cross. Byrne is number 1 in the white. Second one rattles in for Hasenauer, senior from Greece, New York. Makes it a 4-point game again. Lafayette's largest lead of this first half was 7. Kucowski looking to dump. Manis penalized for a blocking foul.
Luckily for her, that's only her first, but they don't want her to get in trouble.
They've been there before.
Especially if they're going to have limited minutes tonight from Byrne and Thomas Wahid, so they really need to keep her out of trouble, keep her fresh. I'm sure we'll see her again before the half is over with still 5 minutes on the clock, just the one foul.
Even 5 minutes left in the first half. Martino, the little floater, rolls in and out, got her own miss back, triple teamed, stuffed by Hasenauer. Here come the Crusaders on the run. Thomas Wahid, the one-handed pass, and Hasenauer knocks down the jumper.
That's a confident pull right there. For somebody who does not take a ton of shots, to hit that in stride, you got to like the confidence right there from the senior.
Hasenauer averages less than a point per game. It's just her 4th game of the season.
It's just her second made field goal of the year.
Nice block. Hasenauer giving valuable minutes for Bill Gibbons in Holy Cross. It's a 2-point deficit.
The free throw she attempted the previous time down were her first 2 free throw attempts as well.
Tough shot. Thomas Waheed almost buried it. Tipped out of bounds. And a stoppage in action. 4:05 left first half. Got a good one in Worcester. Lafayette leading Holy Cross 26-24. This is the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Senior Amy Hassenauer for Holy Cross lighting things up at the Hart Center with John Avino. I'm Brendan Glasheen. You know, coaches will tell us all year long when it comes to conference play, you're going to need a player or two off your bench that doesn't really have it all year long, but it's going to have to win you a game. Someone's going to have to step up, and tonight for Holy Cross, it's been Hassenauer in this first half.
Yeah, so far she's been all over the place, blocking shots, getting on the boards early. She's got a couple of points as well. And we're going to see her role expand as the season goes on. Obviously, with 2 fouls now, she will take a seat and try to stay out of further foul trouble, but you're right. They're going to need games every once in a while where you don't have your normal array of players playing very well, or maybe they're not fully at your disposal, and you need some bigger minutes from some role players, and that's exactly what they've got so far tonight.
Bill Gibbons with that animated look on the sideline. Holy Cross falls into a man-to-man after some full-court press. Graham took the jumper short, put back good. Martino with the putback.
Again, I can't be really more impressed with the freshman class of Lafayette. They've all contributed so far.
It's the sophomore class for Holy Cross that's been the backbone of this year's team. 6 freshmen a year ago. And you're right, Lafayette with first-year head coach Kia Damon. Appropriate to have so many new players and a couple of seniors. We've talked about Ellen Graham, even Anna Tazinski, sort of anchoring that new group of fresh faces.
Yeah, we did talk about, last season when they were able to win 2 games on this floor, but really it's a completely different team, different program to a sense. Obviously, they completely retooled their coaching staff, and they bring in a wide array of freshmen and trying to build on what they've already got here.
Stipa couldn't knock it down. Manis in motion. Drains a 3. And that is something right there.
That is. It's a great job by Manis to kind of trail there. She was a little bit behind the play. Never gave up on it, though, and there's a great job. Active hands have taken a couple balls away for Holy Cross so far. Now they try to get down on offense and pick up a lead.
Janae Faulkner. Yeah.
Not surprised to see a timeout called here. You get a couple of quick threes for Holy Cross. Not just quick threes, though, wide open threes. First with Manis trailing, and then the swing over to Faulkner, who's all good from downtown.
2:42 to play in the half. Holy Cross up 2 on Lafayette. Oh, that run. It's the Holy Cross getting its first lead in quite a while, honestly. They were up by 3 with 8:38 left in the first. So they finally got a lead back.
And they want to stay right there going to halftime, too. This game didn't start the way they wanted it to. Lafayette got out to an early run. There was that 7-0 run at one point. And Holy Cross has just been battling back the entire way. But now that you're able to grab that lead and there's still time on the first half, maybe build on it a little bit more, you can feel pretty confident going into halftime. But Lafayette showed that they're going to be tough, and they're hungry to win another one here on this Hart Center floor.
Lafayette picked to finish last in the conference this year. Holy Cross 6 out of 10. Just saw Manis and Faulkner make some threes. Holy Cross is now 7 for 14 from 3. And on the season, the Crusaders shoot just 34% from distance.
Again, though, it's about the sheer volume. They've taken almost 100 more threes on the season than Lafayette has.
Manis plus the foul.
Now Manis will try and go get 3 points the old-fashioned way. But coming into play, Lafayette had taken 173s on the season. Holy Cross had taken 259. So, yeah, the percentages are about even as you get another look at Manis finishing through the traffic there. But at the end of the day, if you take more and you make the same amount of percentage-wise, you're going to have more points. And that's what Holy Cross has done this year. They have 7 of 14, as you mentioned, from downtown. Well, Lafayette not shooting bad from downtown, but they're just 3 of 5.
Under 2 to play in the first half. Holy Cross, its largest lead of the evening, 5 points. Stipa kicking to Tzinski. Tough shot. Doherty snatches it for Holy Cross. Crusaders will slow it down as their head coach, Bill Gibbons, shouts from the far sideline. Manis, the backdoor feed. Faulkner. They keep swinging. End around by Nicole Morris, or pardon, Madeline Smith. And she lost sight.
Smith had Manis waiting at the top, too. Could have had another 3-point attempt there, but don't hate the take.
Graham twirling for 2.
It's a good move by Graham. You can't say enough about her. It says something about a player who sits for 3 years, doesn't play a ton, to stick with it and stay with the team and about the program, especially when there's been some tough times for this Leopards team program. But she's here and contributing now as a senior.
Helter-skelter attempt by Morris, and then up the other side, it's Agnello who runs into a jump ball. 44.7 on the clock here in the first. Lafayette, while Holy Cross has stroked it from 3, the Crusaders are shooting under 30% from 2. And Lafayette at an even 50% from the floor, 13 of 26. Martino out to Stipa. Now Tzinski surveys the floor. 10 on the shot clock. Off the screen, Stipa short. Crusaders can hold for the final shot of the first half.
That's a great closeout by Infinity Thomas Wahid there. You make that shot pretty tough on Stipa. And now, as you said, the Crusaders will likely hold for this last shot. Even if they don't get points, still going to halftime with the lead. See if they can build it on it here.
Thomas Wahid. Stop. Pop. Rebound to Graham. 33-30, Holy Cross leading Lafayette. 20 minutes in the books. The Crusaders are looking to go to 2-0 in the league, and Lafayette trying to even its Patriot League record at 1-1. We'll step aside for halftime coverage at the Hart Center. We'll come back for second half action. This is the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Welcome back to the Hart Center at the Luth Athletic Complex in Worcester. Holy Cross knocking down 3s to have this lead right now on Lafayette.
Took 14 of them, made half of them, and that was a big reason why Holy Cross able to come back in that second quarter, close the gap, and eventually take the lead. You see a couple of shots of Lauren Manis hitting from downtown. She was pretty good in that first half, 11 points, but the three-point shooting as a whole for Holy Cross, one of the big reasons why they find themselves out ahead. For Lafayette, they're working it inside a little bit. That's been their go-to. The points in the paint has been all them early on here. And they're going to look to keep exposing that. As they've had 12 points in the paint compared to Holy Cross's 4. But one thing I did see that looked pretty interesting to me, Holy Cross doing a much better job scoring off turnovers. So I'm sure they're going to try and jump out in front of a couple more passes, try and get a couple quick looks down the other end of the floor.
Take a look at the numbers from that first half. And one thing Lafayette's been really good with, I mean, you come into a season, you see they're ranked last in the preseason poll, but one thing they do really well, and they did it really well in the non-conferences, field goal percentage defense. It's under 33% coming in. They were ranked 20th in the nation, holding teams to 34.4% shooting.
They just don't score a ton. That's just the biggest problem is you can play as good a defense as you want, but if you're just not going to put up, 55 or 60 points, you're not going to win very many games, And that's just where they found themselves this season. They do a great job of limiting the other team's opportunities. That was an easy layup there that Janae Faulkner tried to reverse on.
Second half is underway. Dashing down the other lane is Drew Freeland to make it a 1-point game. Freeland in the first half scored 3 points on 1 of 3 shooting. She has 5 for the game. Thomas Wahid picks up the loose ball, draws contact, but the foul was on the floor before the shot release.
Bill Gibbons wondering, same thing I'm wondering here. I thought this should have been a continuation as well. Thomas Wahid gets the contact. It's all in the same motion right there, but Bill Gibbons not going to win the argument. Now they talk about it, and they will count the basket. So I guess he does win the argument. Thomas Wahid will take it, as she had been struggling after the first half, going 2 for 7 from the field. She unable to hit the free throw here, though.
First attempt from the line tonight for Thomas Wahid. Offensive board. Ellen Graham is fouled on the wrist. She will have free throws. The foul is going against Doherty. That's her second.
That ball took 2 bounces off the rim here, and honestly, it's a good job by Graham for positioning, but it's a little surprised Holy Cross couldn't get another body in front of her there to try to box her out after that second bounce went up. Give Graham credit, though. She saw it the entire way going up.
Graham makes it a 1-point game on her first 2 attempts of the night. Holy Cross played Lafayette 3 times last year and lost 2 of them here at the Hart Center. All time, the Crusaders' record is 27-4 against Lafayette at home. In transition, they might have gotten away with the travel. Freeland driving. Knocked away. Here's Janae Faulkner, the freshman, strong to the cup, could not finish. Lafayette wants to run again. And a whistle from Gary Schimmel, the official coming up the floor.
He pointed back towards where we are positioned and said red ball over here, which would mean that the ball would come back to the floor. Infinity Thomas Wahid looks a little shaken up here. She'll walk over gingerly to the bench. Remember, she was questionable tonight with an illness, but looks to be a little bit banged up on this one.
That could be a huge loss. Thomas Wahid currently leading the Patriot League in scoring.
She's going right, looked like towards the locker room.
Lauren Manis, coast to coast. Manis in this game has 13 points.
Rebounding off of her last performance, which we talked about. They were going to need a big performance from her tonight.
Scored a season low 8 points.
They still got to win, which we mentioned. They don't get away with that too often.
And Manis not called for a foul, a timeout for Kia Damon and the Leopards. Timeout on the floor, nearly 2 minutes in, second half. Holy Cross edging Lafayette 37-34. After the timeout by Lafayette, we see Infinity Thomas Wahid back on the Holy Cross bench. That is a good sign. Here is what happened on that play. We'll get a better look here in a second. Here's Infinity on the bottom of your screen, number 3 in white, jumping for a loose ball and might have bothered the lower back.
Yeah, you saw that first step she took where almost as if her knee was buckling a bit, and then she dove right after. So at some point during that sequence, she maybe got a little banged up. She did walk it off towards the side of the bench, back towards the Gatorade coolers. But she's now sitting right in that first position on the bench once again. We'll see if we get her back in action tonight.
She has 4 points on 2 of 7 shooting. 4 to shoot here for Lafayette. They tried to sling it inside. Freeland searching for Kucowski. We talked a lot about Natalie Kucowski pregame, and she's sort of gone quiet since Alexis Santarelli was that spark in the first and second quarters.
Yeah, she did get off to a decent start, but you're right, we haven't said much about her.
Manis can't drain the 3, gets it back on the offensive board, and she is pushed off. They'll get Graham for this one.
Nope, pardon me, Kucowski. This man is slashed inside.
That's Kucowski's third now here early in the third quarter. And that will be obviously a theme here, and perhaps this is why I think the referees are discussing now, and one of the Leopards is taking credit for it, as you originally called it as Graham's foul. She'll take the foul now, and they give her third instead.
Faulkner bounces. Manis rejected by Kucowski. Still remains Holy Cross basketball.
She averages a double-double, and oh yeah, she averages a block and a half a game as well, and that time coming up from behind the last second on Lauren Manis. Manis thought she had an easy two.
Manis, little stop and pop, rattles it home. Tell you what, too, that's a gamble by Kucowski going for that. Speaking of a potential third foul.
Yeah, that and the fact that Manis, how many times have we seen her finish through contact? So even if you do pick up that third foul there and she makes the baskets, worst case scenario.
Martino, 4-3.
Big time hit from Martino there, who has done that a lot this season from downtown. Really a freshman who's expanded the range a little bit, giving them another three-point shooter.
Martino has 8. Holy Cross turnover. Number 8 of the night. Still the lead by 2. Lafayette nearly gives it back. Martino gets the skip from Kucowski. Lafayette in search of its first conference win in the second game of the year. Martino lofts it up and is fouled late. That's Lauren Manis' second.
That was a late call, you said, Brendan, as it wasn't until after that ball had rimmed out already that the whistle came in, but still going to count the same as free throws for Martino, who misses the first.
Lafayette is a team 3 for 8 tonight at the free throw line.
Martino on the season now after that miss, 11 of 16. So she's normally pretty good at knocking down her chances from the stripe.
One-point game.
Infinity Thomas Wahid back in for Holy Cross as well. Good to see her able to get back in action.
That is a good sign. Wrestles for the offensive board. A fresh 30 for the Crusaders, but Faulkner gives it away. Kucowski driving and banking it in. Kucowski has 7 and 6 boards.
She needed maybe 4 dribbles to get from one end of the floor to the other. Great job running the floor by Kucowski, reinstating her dominance. You're going to need a big second half here.
It's been a joy to watch the athleticism of some of these bigs tonight in the Patriot League. Here's Kucowski again.
That's not an easy finish either. She weaves through traffic, a Euro step of sorts. Kucowski just got called for a third foul for the second time now. Remember last time they corrected it to Graham, and again I think this time they're going to have a discussion. And I believe they once again are going to switch it. I think it's number 22, Stammy Stipa, that they give the foul to. So Kucowski and the Leopards catching a couple breaks here on changed foul calls, 2 in a row.
Thomas Wahid opts to kick it out. Nicole Morris scooping. Swords is there, no good. Try number 3 is swatted. On the floor, it is Lafayette. Nia Holland has checked in for the first time.
Really impressed with Ellen Graham. She was the one who blocked Smith on that drive there, or excuse me, Morris on the drive there.
Kaczynski, pull up J. Friendly bounce. She's got 7.
That's a hard screen right there. Set by Megan Swords.
Thomas Wahid stuffed by the rim. Almost stole it from her own teammate. There's Nia Holland. She's playing in just her 5th game this season. Jumping all over the basketball inside the mini circle.
Now she's going to fight hard for this one. As you take a look in the awkward position she was in, she falls back, and a jump ball will take us to another break.
Both teams huddle up. Lafayette by 3 here in Worcester. Welcome back to Worcester, the Hart Center, the site of Patriot League game number 2 for both Holy Cross and Lafayette. Talented freshman Natalie Kucowski with this block earlier in the quarter. Holy Cross exerting some full court pressure. It still remains Lafayette ball. John Avino alongside of Brendan Glasheen. Thanks for joining us as Patriot League play is finally here and into the new year of 2018. And here's your classic case of the number 10 preseason team against the number 6, and both are going toe-to-toe. It is always a battle no matter what.
Conference games tend to just be that much better for whatever reason throughout the course of the year. Obviously, they play different non-conference schedules. A lot of the opponents are the same, but you get different feels sometimes and take different road trips. This is a foul on Santarelli. I believe it's going to be her 3rd as she came right in and picks up one. They're trying to keep their bigs out of foul trouble here. She was huge in that first quarter, especially getting most of her scoring, if I believe all of it done in that first quarter.
She hasn't scored since. 8 points, 4 boards, all in the first quarter. Lafayette by 3. This is Nicole Morris, 2 strong. Board to infinity, Thomas Wahid. Madeline Smith also on the floor with Janae Faulkner and Amy Hassenauer for Holy Cross.
Crusaders now 3 of 13 this quarter from the field.
Thomas Wahid in and out.
And on the other hand, Lafayette has only taken 5 shots this quarter, but they've made 4 of them. Another ball right there that Bill Gibbons was arguing for, thought was tipped, and it didn't even look like there was a piece of it gotten there by Smith, so I think he has a legitimate beef. It looked like Holland ended up just throwing that thing out of bounds.
Santarelli snaps a pass inside. Tazinski no good. Back up. Martino. Holland for 3. Short. And a hold underneath against Holy Cross.
Janae Faulkner not happy with that whistle. I think she thought she forced a jump ball right here. But look at Kucowski, 2 offensive rebounds on this series, and she'll end up picking up another, or drawing another foul, I should say. Lauren Manis will check back in now for the Crusaders. And a teetering and tottering game. Neither team can get a significant run going. Faulkner with a 2nd straight foul on Kucowski. And Gibbons showing what he thought happened there. That time it did look like the feet were moving a little bit as she went up.
Lafayette now an even 50% from the free throw line tonight. Now, while we did see Thomas Wahid check back in, you just saw a close-up of Trisha Byrne for Holy Cross. She has not come back in the game since entering off the bench in that first quarter.
Yeah, if you joined us late, both Thomas Wahid and Trisha Byrne were questionable. I guess they both had illnesses coming into tonight, and they both did give it a go, but Byrne, as you mentioned, has not returned. Well, Thomas Wahid did get a little banged up, but has come back in, so perhaps the illness just keeping Trisha Byrne down a little bit more than she had anticipated it would.
Lafayette in the midst of a 10-2 run. Lauren Manis puts it in from downtown.
Such a confident pull right there from Manis. You love to see it. Down 5, no fears right there on that jump shot from downtown, putting it back within 2.
Martino stuck in traffic. This 3! Kucowski, the freshman, responds to Manis with a trifecta of her own.
And once you think one can do something the other can't do, Kucowski comes down and tries to show her range, and Matt is trying to answer right back. Kucowski has other ideas.
You could tell off the catch that Manis wanted this one, but Kucowski with her second stuff of the night.
Just great job closing in right there. Manis thought she had nearly enough space, and the previous shot she had taken on the opposite wing was not an easy shot by any means. She was getting closed out on, and I think she thought she would be able to do the same thing, go right over the top, but she couldn't get it. And there's Kucowski on the other end showing her range off. Two impressive bigs here with Manis, the sophomore, and Kucowski, the freshman. That's going to be a fun battle to watch for a couple of years. They still have to go against each other, assuming they both remain at these schools in this Patriot League. It could be a fun rivalry to watch.
They are the game's leading scorers, respectively. Manis with 18 points, 4 rebounds. Kucowski has 12 points and 8 rebounds. These teams meet again, by the way, January 27th at the end of the month on College Hill in Easton, Pennsylvania, in case you were wondering. Coming up on 2 minutes left, this is Nicole Morris. Lafayette basketball.
It's a tough break there from Hasenauer, who not only was unable to come up with an offensive board, but gets whistled for a foul while she tips it. Looks like they're going to get Miranda Nixon set to come in the game and try and keep the rotating bigs idea going. This will send Kucowski to the line, however.
Holy Cross at 5 fouls in the quarter. That leads to the double bonus automatically.
By the numbers, Kucowski not a bad person to send to the free throw line on the season. She did just make her 4th out of 5 tonight, and now makes 5 out of 6, but on the season now just 27 of 46. So if you're going to foul somebody in that fashion, she's not a bad candidate, but tonight just hitting her free throws in what's been a really good game for her.
Manis gave it a whirl this time and buries it. There's a competitive edge in this game right now.
It's fun to watch, too. Manis, her 4th make from downtown so far. Not afraid to pull the trigger. Gotta love what you're seeing here from number 25 on each side.
90 seconds to play in the third quarter. Santorelli, she's back after scoring 8 in the first.
Oh, and by the way, I had 8 points in that first quarter, and I could play a little bit too, says Alexis Santorelli.
Thomas Waheed wants to get in on the act, and she's fouled. You make a great point about Manis, by the way. 4 for 7 from 3 tonight. She had 5 makes all year on 21 attempts coming in.
You can't make it up. Any given night, something like that will happen. And then once conference play starts, all bets are off. If she's hot from down there, they're going to continue to find her. And it's not really just about her getting up those shots, too. They're all pretty good looks. She's not taking or forcing any threes, maybe with the exception of the one that Kucowski was able to get out and block her on. But it really has been high-quality looks for Lauren Manis from downtown tonight.
I was just going to ask you, don't you think some of it is that competitive fire competing with another underclassman? Manis a sophomore and Kucowski is just a freshman.
Yeah, and
you got to think that's part of it.
It definitely has something to do with it, whether she'll admit it or not, which I'm sure she would not admit. But you see the other freshman, or you see the freshman, Kucowski, coming in, and everything she's been able to do so far. Already 2 Rookie of the Week awards in the conference. As I mentioned earlier, she's got 5 games with 14 rebounds at least. She's one of just 2 players averaging the double-double in the conference. I'm sure Manis wanted to come out and have a good reason for, or have a couple of good reasons for a good game.
Kucowski blows right by her, breaking up that 1-3-1 press. Works out, and Holy Cross has a 12-second differential with the shot and game clock.
I think that was just a Madeline Smith there trying to get 2 for 1 possibly, trying to force a pass up the court to Faulkner.
Madeline Smith cradles the ball off the inbounds. But an 11-second differential shot and game clock. Manis twirls right by Santarelli, 2 plus the harm.
How about the adjustment here? I mean, she gets the ball and is already moving, first of all, and then she just goes up and under. Santarelli can't do anything differently. You're going to foul her. That's how you do it. But Manis, with that late movement of the ball, not only takes the contact, but is able to just to drive it in and finish. For as well as she's doing hitting her threes tonight as well, she's forced a couple of N1s now, which is just an even more efficient way to get to the line and try and get 3 points on the board.
5th 20-point game for Lauren Manis this year, and it's a 1-point game in Worcester. Holy Cross has a special talent in number 25. Both teams with the number 25. Hard take, put back. Santarelli getting back the other miss, and she is fouled. The initial shot was Martino, and Thomas Wahid gets her first foul.
And we'll take another look here. Santarelli, as you see, just fighting, and yeah, I guess there was a slap on the arm there as Santarelli went up for that last rebound. That's the first time she's missed a free throw this season. She was 10 of 10 coming into tonight.
Interesting how both of Lafayette's bigs that have dominated the night are both left-handed. Santarelli and Kucowski. Ellen Graham, the other big, checks in right in front of your screen there, 42. 5 seconds for the Crusaders. Doherty driving baseline. This is Morris short. 2-point basketball game at the end of 3 in Worcester. Holy Cross is aiming for a 2-0 start in the Patriot League, and Lafayette is looking for conference victory number 1. Come back and join us for the 4th quarter in Worcester. It's Holy Cross and Lafayette. This is the Patriot League Network on Stadium. 4th quarter is about to start in Worcester. With John Avino, I'm Brendan Glasheen. Lafayette, towards the end of that 3rd quarter, went on a 15-3 run to make it a 7-point game for the 3rd time tonight. And then Holy Cross, on the back of Lauren Manis, cut the deficit to 2. As Thomas Wahid comes up empty on the jumper, and here comes Lafayette.
She's still trying to get going, Infinity Thomas Wahid, that is. And if she can get any sort of offensive rhythm going in this 4th quarter, and Lauren Manis can stay hot, Holy Cross is going to have a real good shot here as Manis picks up her 3rd foul.
Manis is playing with some fire tonight, attacking the freshman, Kucowski.
And you mentioned it just before the break, and it's, you know, you can't really boil it down and say like it's directly affecting her, but you have to think that seeing Kucowski out there and probably hearing some of the hype about her, and I'm sure keeping up with the Patriot League stats in general, Manis kind of wants to remind everybody, hey, remember me? I was the Rookie of the Year last year in the Patriot League, and I'm still pretty good.
Manis has also embraced a leadership role as just a sophomore, not only in the scorer's sheet, but in the locker room as well. Slips it out. Thomas Wahid couldn't do the rest as Doherty came in. And Holy Cross empty on its 2nd possession of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that one there, Manis tried to hurry down the court. Once she realized she wasn't going to have a look, turned and found Thomas Wahid. There's a great job by Manis to go straight up. And perhaps a better job by the officials to keep the whistle not blown.
Thomas Wahid stepping through traffic. A hard hit to the wrist. She will get a couple of free throws. Kucowski now has 3, along with Lauren Manis of the Crusaders.
Thomas Wahid has struggled from the field so far tonight, but has knocked down a couple free throws and 3 chances, now 3 of 4, so she can get herself to the line. Sure she'll be able to knock in a couple.
She went 10 for 12 at the line in the victory over Colgate to give Holy Cross a 1-0 Patriot League record. Couple there to tie the score.
And she's definitely been affected by whatever illness or whatever had been ailing her tonight. She's had limited minutes. You've seen her come up a couple times trying to catch her breath. she'll get another breather here, as I'm sure they'll want her for at least some of the end of the game here.
8.5 to play in the fourth. Lafayette is 4-7 through 11 games, 1 Patriot League game. The Leopards won 4 games all of last year. A win tonight in Worcester would be fitting for win number 5, given 2 of their 3 wins, or 2 of their 4 last year, were in this building. Freeland just got the shot off, and the ball skitters out of bounds. It belongs to the Crusaders. Talked about it last year, that game here in Worcester in February, a victory in the regular season to halt a 22-game losing streak, and then the 2 teams meet again in the Patriot League Conference Tournament, and Lafayette pulled off the upset.
You can't make it up, and I know Holy Cross, we've continued to talk about how it's just something they have to kind of get off their chest, and they want to get off their chest, is that bad taste that was left in the mouth from last year. These players remember that. A lot of these players were here.
Another empty possession, at least from the field, for the Crusaders. Great passing as Lafayette converts. Kucowski hit Stippa, who found Graham for 2. They set up the half-court set. Manis to Faulkner. Backdoor looking for Thomas Wahid, and Kucowski falls to the deck.
Take another look at this great passing right there. That extra bounce pass by Freeland is just so key right there. If you have a team that can know when to make that extra pass and not force anything, you should have a team that find a way to win some games. Lafayette's trying to do that here.
Freeland's first assist of the night. Thomas Wahid slithering through the traffic. Got knocked away, and Lafayette has possession. Tazinski wants to push. Freeland on the head fake, denied. Manis and Faulkner were both in on it.
Good job by Manis. She stepped out there to prevent a shot from going up. Holy Cross going to commit a turnover here on an errant pass, but Manis looked like she was going to get beat for a second and able to come back, and I think she's the one who ended up getting most of that ball in the block there.
Faulkner nearly took it off the chin. Under 7 to go in regulation. That 3-ball, Tazinski. It's out of bounds. Crusaders basketball. Holy Cross has 3 timeouts remaining, and Lafayette with 2. On the floor, it's Madeline Smith, Hasenauer, Thomas Wahid, Manis, and Faulkner. Tazinski, Kucowski, Stippa, Freeland, and Graham for Lafayette. Extra possession. Hasenauer nearly put it through, plus the whistle. She was a spark in that second quarter. She heads back to the line.
You don't know where it's going to come from sometimes, and Hasenauer, as we mentioned, does not play a ton. Has been getting a little bit more run lately. Has been used sparingly over the course of her 4-year career. But coming up with a couple big moments here tonight. And there's a big free throw hit. If she can make the second one, we'll be tied back up once again.
We've talked numerously about Lauren Manis and the amount of minutes she's had to play. When you consider that sophomore center Megan Swords started the season late due to an ACL tear last season, and then Hasenauer has been injured. Holy Cross has had a depleted front court, and they look to get these players acclimated in league play. Hasenauer did reach in there, and at the last moment, Santarelli fell down.
Yeah, and that might have been what did it in there for the call. As you take a look there, the good trap, and then if Santarelli doesn't end up taking a spill there, I'm not sure the whistle actually gets blown, but it looked like a little bit more contact from Hasenauer than might have actually been. There's a clean block on a three-point attempt.
Faulkner reeled it in. Holy Cross sets up its offense. With under 6 to play. Thomas Waheed bounces it friendly off the iron.
Clearly been a frustrating night. 4 for 14 for the senior from the field, but she's still the leading scorer of the conference. Still going to find ways to put the ball in the hoop.
Graham collects, could not lay it in.
Nobody there for that rebound either, except for Holy Cross.
Thomas Waheed, pull-up J is pure. I'll tell you, if Thomas Waheed gets going, it's going to defeat what Lafayette's done super well tonight, which is hold Holy Cross under 30% shooting. You just look at Thomas Waheed's numbers, you can tell Lafayette's in the game.
And that's what I've been saying. If she can go and get some offense going here as she dishes there, they're not able to finish. But look, all of a sudden she's got a new spark. She grabs that offensive board. She's made their last 4 points. She's clearly gassed, but this is a conference game. She knows the stakes. She knows they need her, and if she can keep the scoring up, especially while Lauren Manis is on the bench catching a late breather, it's only going to benefit the Crusaders.
Drive to the hoop, no whistle. She wanted the call but didn't get it. Here's Stipa, kick, corner, 3. It's good! Freeland! 1 point game. Faulkner, nice little tap. Hassenauer, count it. And the foul.
Tell you what, the head fake by Janae Faulkner at the top of the key started this whole thing off. She made a great move to get around the defender, had an interesting little touch pass there down low, but Hassenauer able to finish with the contact and go to the line for one more.
Welcome back to the Hart Center in Worcester. Holy Cross leading Lafayette 60-57, approaching the 4-minute mark in the fourth. Crusaders have 2 of the next 3 here at the Hart Center, and then a couple on the road at Boston University for that precious Turnpike Trophy competition that will resume, and then a trip to Army towards the middle of the month. And of course, these home games, you got one coming up on Friday if you're the Crusaders, trying to go to 2-0 in the league, potentially 3-0. You get these home games, and even Bill Gibbons said it after the Colgate win. Anytime you win on the road in league play, you take it, no matter what way it goes.
I know it's only 1-0, but they still see 0 in that loss column. You pick up a win here tonight, you're going into the 3rd game of conference play, as you said, at home. Real chance to make some noise in the early season for Holy Cross and the Patriot League schedule. Of course, they got to finish business here tonight, try and close out this tough Lafayette team.
The Leopards fell to Lehigh 70-45 a couple of days ago, have held their own here in Worcester, making this a game. Maybe it's just something about this building.
It might be the 5th foul on Santarelli. That is the 5th foul on Santarelli, so she's going to foul out here. And keep an eye on our friend Natalie Kucowski as well. She has 4 fouls. That would be a detrimental loss here in the waning minutes of this game if should she have to leave the game for any reason.
Crusaders basketball with 3:40 left. Let's see how Lafayette responds with Santarelli out of the game. They still have the anchor inside in Kucowski. Thomas Waheed skips to Manis. 10 on the clock. Manis could not put it home. Kucowski is fouled, galloping down the lane.
It's amazing. You see the behind the back move there? I mean, it's incredible. Look at that. You don't see bigs do that. Not freshman bigs, especially. A special talent here for this Leopards team.
Kucowski trying to wiggle free to get open. She is the recruit that Kia Damon hopes to build around these next 4 years. Fouled shooting a 3, Martino. That is a no-no.
Oh, Martino very nearly put it down, too. That would have been worst-case scenario for Holy Cross. Good kick there, back out. Then the closeout from Hasnauer, who's done a lot of things very well tonight, but that time just a little too much on that closeout on a crucial point in this game.
And he keeps Lafayette in striking distance. The Leopards at the line this evening, 9 for 15 as a bunch.
Martino now 2 for 3 herself, coming into play. 11 of 15 on the season, so not a ton of a sample size, but usually pretty good at hitting her free throws.
Have to admire how Kia Damon and her team has bounced back after such a dreadful loss to Lehigh. There's really no other way to put it. You play 12 of your players, you know the game's in hand pretty much at the half. And you come into Worcester for the first time with an 0-1 record, and you've got a ball game with 3 minutes left. And a weekday game is just always a tough scenario.
And remember, she's not here last year. She doesn't care about what they did last season in this building. Or I'm sure she knows. I'm sure she knows some of the history, but she's looking to help build her own legacy here. Is another nice take by Lauren Manis. Gets the lead right back for Holy Cross.
Manis has 26. Here's another look, John.
Just so good at driving and adjusting. And that's what she had to do that time. And too many times we've seen the defense, when she's gone down the lane tonight, give her that bump or that little extra contact that she's able to finish through as well. And that time the Leopards almost just conceded it. Once she had gotten through everybody, it's almost like just don't foul her, because she's probably going to make that anyway with the space and the look she's going to get. She's almost looking for that contact, knowing where it's going to come from at times. So that's what makes her so unguardable at times, and that's why tonight she's been such a handful and why she's had 19 looks from the field.
She's 2 points off of her career high, which is 28. She had that at Hofstra earlier in the non-conference. Manis with 26. And while the rest of the league is in action tonight, you might have a rude awakening inside. Get your post ready for Kucowski and Manis for Lafayette and Holy Cross, respectively. 12 on the shot clock. Kucowski skips it. Martino driving up and under. Tie game.
How about Martino, the last 5 points for the Leopards here. A big presence all night, but the bucket that time in the game to tie it back up. Just got to love this freshman class so far for the Leopards.
14 for Martino. Thomas Wahid hurls it up. It was well short. With under 2 to play, Lafayette sets up its half-court offense. The Leopards won 4 games total last year, and they could pull off win number 5 of the 2017-18 season in game number 12 of the year. Behind the back, Stipa is blocked. Thomas Wahid says, no way. She's playing hobbled out there too. Here's a look.
She's not a guard that's going to rack up a ton of blocks, but she does do that from time to time. That's her 7th block of the season. So you always think you might have a step on infinity, and she comes back and makes up the time and the ground right there.
4 to shoot. Desperation 3, Martino. Tie game, 90 seconds left in the 4th. And Bill Gibbons wants to use his 2nd timeout, 1 remaining. We keep it here at the Hart Center in Worcester.
This has been a great game. I mean, you really can't ask for anything else out of 2 conference opponents early in the season. Obviously, there's differing opinions for these 2 teams. Holy Cross would love to be winning this game by a hefty margin by now and not have to worry about this. And likewise goes for the road team. But as a bystander and a fan of basketball, you have to love what you've seen here tonight as a early conference season. It just shows that there could be a little bit more parity in this conference this season than people think. I mean, already in the early going, you have Navy, who's out to an 11-1 start. They were picked 4th in the conference. Granted, they haven't played all but one game in conference so far, but it could be a fun season in the women's side of Patriot League.
Faulkner with the ball, Thomas Wahid, Manis, Smith, and Katie Doherty. The 5 on the floor offensively for the Crusaders. Manis spinning in traffic. Faulkner open. Airmails the triple. Here comes Drew Freeland, the point guard, with Stipa to her left. Freeland all the way to the hole. Scoops for 2. Lafayette has the lead with under a minute to go at the Hart Center in Worcester.
If I would have told you a freshman had the last 7 points for Lafayette, you'd say, sure, Kucowski, how many she have of those? None of the last 7 points have been her, but still the freshman doing a great job, and here's another big steal.
Freeland has 10. Martino has 14. And Kucowski has 14. The 3 leading scorers in the game for Lafayette are all freshmen.
Just another look at this great drive there, and that is just something that a freshman usually doesn't do so well, but Drew Freeland just splits the gap, finds the step. Now Martino, who's been great from the free throw line tonight, has another chance to maybe ice this one.
Holy Cross in the double bonus. There's Bill Gibbons. We'll see how he strategizes with 1 timeout remaining. And this free throw, without question, is huge. Can make it a 2-possession game.
Probably calls the timeout here if they make this no matter what. Well, I could be wrong.
Nails. This freshman group for Lafayette has been impressive.
He's going to choose to hold on to the timeout, see if he can't get a quick bucket first.
Thomas Wahid directs the offense. Driving, flings it up, bounces wide. Manis the offensive board with 12 seconds. Manis no good. And Lafayette scrapes for the loose ball, and the Leopards have it. Senior Anna Tazinski hopped on it. They get 2 looks here, John.
They did.
And not very high percentage.
And they got another tip there from Infinity Thomas Wahid that was unable to get tipped all the way out. And this has just been a conundrum for Bill Gibbons. And that face, I was just going to mention, that says it all right there. I mean, he has just not been able to figure out this Lafayette team on his home floor the last 2 seasons. It's been an anomaly compared to the history of these teams.
You look all time. Holy Cross has only lost to Lafayette 10 times in 66 meetings. And all time at the Hart Center, the Crusaders are 27-4. Now last year they lost 2 games here to this very Lafayette program. But with 3 freshmen in this game today, Drew Freeland, Olivia Martino, and the anchor of the group, Natalie Kucowski. Kia Damon's got this group believing while it's still early. You bring back some of your seniors. We talked about Ellen Graham, who's a starter, Anna Tazinski, another senior, captain, starter. Early success is pivotal to get your group to buy in with still 16 games to go in the season. If you get win number 5 after winning a total of 4 last year, while you were not here, Kia Damon, that is huge for your group's morale.
And you know what probably is the most impressive part about the entire thing? We could talk all day about these 3 freshmen. You can only assume this is her first recruiting class, like true recruiting class. You take a look at some of the other contributors. Ellen Graham for the last 3 years has not been a contributor for this team. This year, she comes in as a first-year head coach, Kia Damon. She finds a spot for Ellen Graham to not only play but to contribute. They're getting contributions from seniors like Sammy Stipa, Ellen Graham, Anna Tazinski, and then they also have this fantastic freshman class. As you take a look at Kucowski with her 3rd straight double-double, 14 points, 12 boards. You mentioned a few times tonight, one of just 2 players in the conference averaging a double-double on the season. It's make or break time right here for Holy Cross.
Catherine Peaty, the walk-on, drains a 3 with just under 5 seconds left. Peaty, a great story, a walk-on from Chicago. saw playing time last year, sort of in the garbage time of games. Was making shots, and Bill Gibbons found a role for her off the bench.
How about that? Coming in and just nailing that three, and not so fast. I know a lot of the fans here probably remote starting the cars, trying to get them all warmed up, but still got a 4.9 seconds on the clock here. Holy Cross going to look for a steal on the inbound, and then anything can happen.
I'll have to put that on my Christmas list next year, a remote starter for my vehicle. Given the temperatures in Massachusetts these days.
They make them pretty good now, too. You can get pretty good range out of it. Probably start it right from here on the side of the court.
Well, key here for the Crusaders, a quick steal, and if not, right, you got a foul.
They need the steal. They have no timeouts, too. So if they get the steal, they need to go right down.
They get it in, and a quick foul by Thomas Waheed on Martino. Holy Cross was close to getting the 5 seconds, and luckily the Leopards did inbound the basketball.
They also had one more timeout they could have called, and you can only assume Kia Damon had it somewhat under control there should they have not been able to get the pass. And this is the biggest free throw of the game, though, from Martino. Obviously goes without saying. But she's been fantastic tonight. She's been sent to the line a ton and is not disappointed.
Martino with 17 points. That is a game high for the Leopards. Down 4, Madeline Smith heaves and front rims the triple. Lafayette comes into Worcester and picks up its first Patriot League win of the 2017-18 season. The Leopards down the Holy Cross Crusaders 69-65. We gave a lot of attention to the freshmen for Lafayette. Kucowski in particular before the game. You see Martino ice the game, a real impressive effort here out of the Leopards. 5 wins now on the year to top what they had last year.
You could see perhaps some of what this future of the conference is going to look like with the 3 fantastic freshmen all contributing plenty for Lafayette tonight, and a big win for them. A big win for them coming off the loss against Lehigh. A nice rebound on the road, and they just continue in the last 2 seasons to have Holy Cross's number in this building.
Olivia Martino with 17 points, a new career high. Kucowski finishes with 14, and Lauren Manis had 26. So for John Avino and for our entire crew here with the Patriot League Network, my name is Brendan Glasheen saying so long from Worcester. Lafayette beats Holy Cross 69-65. Thank you for watching tonight on the Patriot League Network, also on Stadium.